All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Baseball After Dark. Today, I came in 1 minute late because I just walked back. I was at the USA game for really only the first inning and a half. Got to see Judge Homer. Got to see Contreras' son go out there and look really good, actually. Shatter Judge's bat for a double play. Terang with a nice swing. Webby got clipped by Manny's kid. So I was there for a little bit, and then I walked back over. Luckily, the hotel's very close by. So I got to enjoy that a little bit before getting the show started. I am currently watching Puerto Rico and Colombia right now. Edwin's on the mound, my brother, and he has walked a guy. He's been a little erratic. First time pitching, I guess, at home in San Juan. So pretty cool. Hope everybody's great on this very exciting day 2 of WBC. 8 games today. It's been a fun one so far. And we'll get into all of that here in just a minute, but I wanted to thank you guys for hanging with me. And yeah, we'll get right into it in a minute. So let's see what we got here in the chat. Good evening, Marshmallow. Contreras has some stuff. He's young, but he'll grow over the years. I mean, listen, he's in high school still. He's committed to a college, but he comes out here pitching against the USA lineup, throwing 97. Very cool. Good little split thing. Big win for Mexico over Great Britain, close early until it wasn't. For a little while there, I thought Great Britain had a shot and a little momentum in that game. So we'll head over in a minute. I'm not watching USA versus Brazil at the moment because I'm waiting on this Puerto Rican game to end. I'm curious to watch Edwin put the finishing touches on it. But let's go get into it a little bit. Got a lot of stuff to look at today. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of baseball games today. So let me just get a little reload here of everything. Venezuela taking down the Netherlands this morning. We'll figure out exactly what order we want to go in. These are all of our WBC games. Nicaragua and Dominican locked at 3 in a very nerve-wracking game right now for Dominican. Let's look at the current box score down in Miami. Sanchez with a tough go, inning and a third, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. After that, the bullpen has done a tremendous job. Brazaban, my guy, inning and 2/3. Mejia, 1 inning. Santana, 1 inning. Dominguez, 2/3, all clean since Sanchez coming out of the game. It's kind of like March Madness today, right? It's like everything's going on at once. A lot of games on Fox, FS1, FS2. Diaz now has two outs in this inning, so he's settling in here a little bit. And Puerto Rico is about to pitch a shutout, looks like, versus Colombia. This was a good pitching matchup at the top. Lugo and Quintana. So Medrano started this game for Nicaragua. He benched but didn't break, including a huge strikeout of Ketel Marte. Or, this game would have been a huge lead already for DR, but that's not the case. It is 3-3, and we are in the 6th. And that is very, very tight. As for this Puerto Rican game that I'm into right now, hold on, let me just look at the box real quick. The combination of Lugo, Garcia, Moran, Rios, Reyes, and Fernando Cruz have led to Diaz. So they're looking to put this one on ice. 2 strikes away from going 1-0 in Pool A. Pretty good effort on the mound as well by Colombia. Everybody throwing zeros except for Almeida, who ran into a tough inning. They're in the 5th. Brazil going from a 17-year-old to a 40-year-old. Yeah, Joseph Contreras was impressive. Love Manny's kid getting the home run as well. I know, USA Brazil on Fox. I'm just waiting on this one ending, and then I'm going to switch my channel over to Fox, and we'll go in to get on all of the different games that have taken place today. Why did we go back to this? We need international. Okay, so USA threatening once again over there. Let me just check on that live game. We got Terang up, 2 men on. Roman with a walk. And then we'll get started on some of the highlights, and we'll talk a little bit. Hopefully Diaz will contain his celebration this year. Yeah, I would imagine so. He's got a 3-2 count here. Strike three, struck him out. So good job by Edwin to rally. Walking 3 strikeouts. That's basically an Edwin inning. And a great debut for Puerto Rico in Puerto Rico. So now let me go find Fox now so I can actually get the other game. Oh my God, Da Silva's pitching. So little known fact, I don't know if they've covered this on the broadcast at all, but Da Silva, he pitched for Team Italy alongside me in 2009. In fact, I think we might have pitched in the same game back in the day. So we'll keep tabs on the USA-Brazil game. We'll catch up on everything that already happened. Unfortunately, right now, I don't have the ability to go play-by-play. I don't believe. I was trying to get that ability earlier. They're still deciding whether they're going to give it to me or not. I think they will, but not today. So that means we're going to have to go through just highlight style a little bit to all the games that happened. So the first one we got to go to is in Japan. Japan and Chinese Taipei. Bless you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Those are some sneezes. So in Chinese Taipei, we'll go ahead and we'll go look at the Japan versus Chinese Taipei highlights once they load. These things tend to take a second to load up for some reason in this hotel. You know what? Let's just watch Shohei's Grand Slam because this was the big blow of the game, of course. It is remarkable how he can like reach out and be off balance and kind of one-hand the ball out to right. Just like Judge homering his first at-bat today, you know, it's pretty predictable that a guy like Shohei is going to show up and do something big. It seems automatic at this point. And Chinese Taipei now 0-2 in the tournament. They're a very highly rated team, but there's no doubt that they're a little bit in over their heads at this moment. Here is the full 10-run inning for Team Samurai Japan today. So Shohei starts it with the grand slam. Again, see how he's just reaching for that, yet that ball's still touched. It's just Shohei. What are you going to say? Thoughts on the mercy rule? Should they implement it in MLB? I don't love it in MLB, but it makes sense in tournament play, and it adds a couple wrinkles in terms of run differential and tiebreakers and saving your pitchers. So I think it makes a lot of sense in pool play. But I don't love it in MLB because MLB is a war of attrition, so a little attrition doesn't bug me. I think it's good, for teams to deal with different circumstances over the 162. And I think a mercy rule sometimes is a get-out-of-jail-free card for the losing team. I mean, nowadays they just they do the position player pitching for a little while or whatever. But Ohtani has that insane coil. That's what Spencer Jones is trying to replicate this year. But I mean, that's not a powerful swing. He just has such good leverage and he gets the barrel to it. So pretty incredible. All right, here's Yoshida staying inside. And, one thing that we've noticed very early on is with the Major League balls, the Tokyo Dome all of a sudden is playing much more hitter-friendly than it has been in MPB over the last few years. So expect some firepower for sure with the Major League balls. Team USA offense is disappointing so far. Yeah, it's early. And, these pitchers are going to nibble a lot against USA. So it's up to them to kind of make it into a boring game and force them over the plate. Murakami. Little poke up the middle. No play there in the infield. Another run scores. So all three of those guys are in MLB. Here's our first non-MLB player for Samurai Japan, Mr. Genda, the shortstop, the defensive wizard, little broken bat dumper into center, and they keep pouring it on here. Ooh, did Cameronero just go deep? Everybody's hired up for Caminero. So Junior must have just gone deep. What a beast. Here's another line drive base hit, and Japan rolled over Taipei. This was pretty much a breeze. Yamamoto did pitch in this game. I believe he made it through 3 innings. He had some walks. But, this lineup's no match for the great Yoshi. Here's another Shohei hit. And they gave the people what they wanted. you know? Japanese fans go to the Tokyo Dome to see their team romp, and they do romp. So it's interesting. I was just talking with my friend EJ Aguado, who is one of the social people with MLB, and he was saying that the Twitter post of Ohtani's Grand Slam this morning had more views, like doubled up the views already of some of the World Series posts. So just showing you the impact already of this tournament. It's just massively popular, and it's really, really cool. All right, here's Yoshi. So coming off, obviously, the historic World Series, wastes no time going right to the split, and it's 93. I mean, you just can't execute better than that. Another perfect one below the zone. So those are his two punchies, both on splits. And, he never gives up much. And then once again today, doesn't really give up any runs. Did have a couple walks. I mean, it is, checks my date, March 6th. So a little unfair to expect him to be in perfect form. But he gets his tournament started with a nice 3 innings. Let's go check the box score on this game and focus on some of these Japanese guys. Shohei 3 for 4. Kondo 0 for 5. Suzuki 1 for 2. Yoshida 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI and a walk. Okamoto 1 for 4 and a walk. Murakami 1 for 3 and a walk. Maki 1 for 3 and a walk. Genda 3 for 3, 4 RBIs. And Wakatsuki 1 for 3 on the mound. Yamamoto 2 2/3, so he didn't quite get to 3. Fujihira, Miyagi, Kitayama, and Sotani go the rest of the way. Pretty workmanly game. They only allow 1 hit. Who got the 1 hit on Chinese Taipei stopping the no-hitter? It was Yu Chang. And so we'll see who they play next. Ohtani, 5 RBIs in 1 inning, a grand slam, had a double, homer, and a single after 2 innings. Yeah, the guy's pretty good. Seems like he steps up every single time. I did see this as well. Maybe we can Google this really quick because this is pretty cool. This is a visual of the new Yoshi bobblehead that they are giving out this year. What did I do? You get the idea here from looking in the Google search. Pretty cool, if you ask me. Kind of combining 2 of my favorite things, baseball and Nintendo, particularly Mario characters. So, good comment there. Call me crazy, but I don't think the Dodgers will three-peat this year because the last time a major professional sports team three-peated was the Kobe Shaq Lakers in early 2000s, Yankees 98 and 2000. Look, they are up against it. It is not easy statistically to get it done. And if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would probably take the field because 29 versus 1. And I'm agreeing with you with the degree of difficulty. But all that said, they are definitely major favorites this season. About as stout a favorite as we've seen in a long time, in my opinion. So we'll see. So the Dugout app is not working for those games. But once I get my permissions, which I'm surprised I haven't gotten it yet, and now we're headed to the weekend, so I'm worried and maybe till Monday. But I'll be able to get the highlights. I'm not going to be able to get the the pitch by pitch on the research. So we're basically watching highlights and chatting for the most part at the moment. Okay, so that's it for the Japan-Chinese Taipei game. That was pretty straightforward. Continuing to keep an eye on the U.S. game. Logan Webb just had a 1-2-3 inning, gets him through 3, only allows the 1 run, and the USA is back to the top of the lineup. So 3rd time through here. All right, so what game do I want to look at? I want to look at Netherlands and Venezuela. Venezuela pulls away with a 4-run inning in this one. And we'll just go right into the highlights. Acuna wasted no time, and I'm just going to go one by one. So, all right, we'll just go through them. So the first run was scored on a Javier Sanoa home run. Just gets the bat head out here. I mean, this pitch is up above the zone. This was a very odd pitch to homer on. This broke the early tie with the Netherlands and got the Venezuelans on top. Now, I do think that looking at the roster, I think they're the 4th best roster. Maybe even the 3rd best if you could put them over Japan. I don't know if you can or not, but this is a hell of a lineup, a very sneaky lineup that's going to score a lot of runs. And they weren't quite explosive today, but they did get the job done. And then on the mound, they did a nice job as well. Here's a Contreras 2-run single. Atmosphere already electric in Miami. Tons of Venezuelan fans. Tons of Dominican fans. So very entertaining pool over there in Miami. Whereas I thought the atmosphere was a little subdued. Intros, they were pretty loud here for the U.S. guys, but I thought it was actually a little subdued overall. All right, here's an Arise base hit. I mean, you're going to play infield in against Arise. He's going to be able to put it in play and spray it somewhere. This was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. They got the infield in. I don't think I have high home cam or anything, but you get the idea right here. I mean, he looks like he's clearly shooting for that. You know, it's so funny because in the old days, they would say, oh, this guy's throwing really hard, so the odds are you're going to be late, and they wouldn't have this type of alignment with the shortstop pulled way up the middle. They'd be expecting him to be late, and he sure is late. And it's a base hit. And I guess they were desperate to cut the run down, but Arise gets it past Xander. And obviously he's fired up, and they're doing some sort of, I don't even know what celebration, but I kind of like it. Here is Wilyer Abreu, who, if you remember, was my pick to click on the Red Sox this year. He looks tremendous. He's a great player already. But, you know, he's continuing to, you know, work his way into becoming a household name for sure. Nice little RBI hit there. Kind of puts it out of reach. What do we have here in the chat? Infield in boost batting average. I think 100 points. So that's something that I always didn't like, always lamented a little bit as a pitcher. I think Venezuela has a great team. Couldn't agree more. I really couldn't agree more. I think their lineup is tremendous. All right, now on the other side, Drew Jones, Andrew Jones's son, and a very high draft pick, who's had a kind of a clunky start to his pro career. He gets started here with an RBI hit and then a hustle double. He's a speed power combo guy. Massive high school success. Has struggled a little bit since then. My wife's texting me. But it's good to see him out here. I mean, I haven't really gotten a good look at this guy yet. But obviously you can see that he's got tools. You know, great athlete. Jimenez with a jumping catch in this game. Off the bat of Didi. Wow, nice jump. He got up nice right there. Maybe we'll get a replay. Ranger Suarez, you could tell he got paid. He got a brand new chain. Ooh. Full extension. Nice freaking play. And then Palencia, Cubs closer, Venezuelan closer, puts this one to bed. 100 miles an hour. See you later, Drew Jones. $101. So this guy came out fired up. And then Xander, little line out. And that's the ball game. Venezuela takes care of business. Jimenez coming for that platinum glove this year. He's a hell of a defender, and I think now that you get to see him every day at shortstop with Bichette gone, that will continue to be accentuated. Tovar also a really good shortstop. So they have some serious defenders on this Venezuelan team. De Silva's still in there. This is the pitch mix right now. 76 changeup, 88 fastball. Oh, so he's kind of where I'm at. See if USA can keep that going. All right, let's look at the box from this game. Venezuelan lineup. Acuna, 1 for 4 with a double and a walk. Michael Garcia, 1 for 4. Arise, 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Contreras, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. Salvi, 1 for 4. Abreu, 2 for 4. William Contreras, 0 for 3 with a walk. Sanoa, 2 for 4 with the dinger. Jimenez, 1 for 2. On the bump, Ranger Suarez, Bizardo, Avila, Buto, my guy, 2 innings, very efficient 2 innings, Machado, and Palencia. So that's exactly what you want. Now, what you really want in this game is to want to mercy rule somebody. So, like right now, you know, the spread on this USA-Brazil game was 9.5 runs, and so far it's a 2-run game here in the 4th. Ideally, you want to blow somebody out to the point where you can save some of your pitching, especially with all of the restrictions that the organizations are placing on the pitchers. So one of the things that I am a little bit worried about is that I don't have any restrictions, whereas a lot of these other dudes do have restrictions, and so it makes me think. It makes me think that I might have to pitch a lot, especially if I have to cover some scary games, which is fine. It's not that I'm afraid to pitch; it's just that I don't know how I'll feel. And so far, I am feeling good. I'll be ready to go tomorrow. I bounced back well from my game, but to be the mop-up guy, I don't know if that's ideal for the old dog. But again, we'll see how it goes, and I'll be ready for anything because that's my job. Hey, we're gonna pitch every game and shove. I hope so. All right, what else we got here? Looks like banging the drum. So that's the Venezuelan celebration. Only thing that can deny the three-peat is the injury that usually happens with their pitching staff, but Mookie and Teoscar will be better, and Tucker and Edwin. I mean, the thing that can stop it is just that it's baseball. And, I mean, they almost lost each of the past 2 years. So, we'll see. All right, next game to take a gander at that's already been completed. Let's go with Cuba and Panama. This one was early today. Yohan Moncada with the big hit in this game, 2-run home run. We got to take a look at Moniello, who is a pitcher from NPB who's very good, who would be interesting to see in MLB, but this is the only time we ever get to really see him. He ends up going 3 2/3 for Cuba, does a really nice job, and they kind of grinded their way through the rest of this game. Panama had a few opportunities, also threw the ball extremely well, wasn't quite able to push across any runs. Notable names here: Sosa 1 for 4, Caballero 0 for 2 with a walk, Amaya 0 for 3, Camargo 1 for 3, Enrique Bradford Jr. 0 for 2. Betancourt, they didn't really get it going. On the Cuban side, I mentioned it was Moncada, and Guibert had a really nice double as well. So let's go see what we can find here from the highlights of Cuba, Panama this morning. So here is the Yohan Moncada home run. This was the first game in Pool A from Puerto Rico. We don't really ever know what to expect out of Cuba. They used to be an international powerhouse, but most of their best players from the island have long defected. And I get the sense that their program down there isn't strong and hasn't really caught up to the rest of the world. That being said, they're playing a lot of baseball there. We just don't simply know some of these guys. But we do know Yohan Moncada. He does connect for a 2-run jack right there, put this game to 3-0. Am I excited for your game tomorrow? Absolutely. Yeah, very excited. Been scouting this Brazil team a little bit, watching it, seeing how they fare versus the big dogs. Here is the Yoelkis Gilbert home run. I mean, what a swing, left on left, absolute linea down the line, sneaks it out. Really good piece of hitting right there. It also looked really sunny and really hot at this game. Not a lot of fan attendance with Puerto Rico not playing, and they have the turf. I'm just kind of wondering what the conditions are there. I did talk to Jameson Taillon about potentially coming on while he's down there, so we're going to work on that. He'll give us a little bit of the report from Puerto Rico. Here is the Yohan Camargo RBI. This was Panama's hit. Camargo, former Philly, a couple other teams. I mean, they have some guys, but it's funny this tournament. You see, pitching more than anything else. You need a boatload of it to survive it, especially with all the pitch limits. You don't have anybody that can carry you, so it's really a true team effort on the mound, and that's the undoing of a lot of the teams that are a little bit further down the rankings. Got a spinning throw here by Caballero, so let's watch Cabby's defense right here. I mean, what a recovery. It's nice that he has Despain running, who is obviously not that fleet of foot, especially anymore. He's not very young anymore, but pretty good reaction here by Caballero. Brazil surviving. Logan Webb out for the 4th. Getting length out of the starting pitcher is crucial if they can get past 3 innings pitch under 40 pitches. So you can only do 65 pitches, but if you go over 50, you have to have 4 days off or 5 days off or whatever it is. So I was thinking today, like, Bo Takahashi started the game for Brazil, and he's probably their best pitcher, but he had a really tough go there in the first. But they got him out of there. Honestly, maybe even before he threw 30 pitches, so then he can come back with only no days rest, or if it's between 30 and 50, all he needs is 1 day's rest. So all that stuff comes into play, which I think is pretty cool. All right, Levon Moniello, who was the pitcher that we were most interested in from Cuba. I think kind of interesting that he got all righties except for, it looks like, one guy. But 4-seam, changeup, curveball, slider, sinker. So kind of a pretty large pitch mix. You can see from the strike zone, he wants to work righties inside with the fastball, away with the changeup. Curveball is a called strike pitch for him. Sliders to the back foot, and then sinkers also to the glove side. So he's playing 2 fastballs off to the glove side as well. We got all sorts of sirens going on outside. I hear a lot of commotion out there. I hope everything's all right. I mean, the game's still going, so I think we're okay. What's up, Omar? Brazil versus Italy is one of the biggest rivalries in the world for football, no doubt, for the beautiful game, which we have coming up this summer. World Cup. All right, so that was Moniello. He's an interesting player. Let me see if I can get some StatCast data on him, as a matter of fact, now that we are here. See if they have any of that from down in Puerto Rico. I'm assuming they do. Yeah, they do. So here's Levon Moniello. This is a guy we've been curious about for a while. Cuban playing an MPB with a pretty big contract. 42% fastball, 22% change, 19 curve, and 17 slider. As you can see, the MLB app had him throwing sinkers and 4-seams. Here they just have 4-seams, 17 and 8 on that 4-seam. 5 and 16 on the changeups. That's a pretty big drastic difference there. Plus its speed as well, so that's a pretty good combo. Curveball, -15. Slider, 7 and 5. That's kind of a weird pitch. Very lifty cutter type pitch, but it did get 67% whiff. Anyway, I was curious about that. Yariel Rodriguez also pitched in this game. He's Blue Jay, so we've seen him. And then maybe we should go on and get on to another game here. Yeah, I just saw this got popped up. I'm not a football person, but seems like that's a big deal. Oh, I love you, Brett. I miss you. Pitch Profiler has some summaries for these WBC games. Okay. Should we watch Logan Allen's outing for Panama? 5 strikeouts. I swear these hotel air conditioners. Ooh, nice little back footer there. Getting Moncada right here with a little bit of a check swing action. Here's Despain, however you say that. OG. Little high changeup. There's also the unknown factor of just how sharp everybody is in this tournament. I think there's a wide variety of that. Thank you. But I think that just adds another little bit of variability to it. Like, it's not in the mid-season or the late season. It's preseason when this game's happening. So it's fascinating. Ooh, a little change up there. Nice outing from Logan Allen. I mean, he got clipped a little bit, but overall, nice outing out of him. All right, that's it for this one. Cuba and Panama. Puerto Rico, Colombia, Japan, USA, Brazil. Dominican now up a little bit. All right, so Puerto Rico and Colombia. Let's go straight to the highlights. Seth Lugo started this game for Puerto Rico. He was outstanding. There's that patented breaking ball. Incredible breaking ball guy. And that showed up big time tonight. You got to imagine with the humidity And the grip he probably had, he was ripping some serious breaking balls. I'm curious to go look at his metrics in a second. That was a little more drop down. That was a huge moment, too. That was a big moment where Colombia could have grabbed momentum in the game. They weren't able to do that. Keeping the ball on the ground. It would have, of course, it's a shame that there's no Lindor and Correa and Baez. But, Puerto Rico is still going to have quality ball players. Big-time baseball island. And they have some stars on their team anyway, even without those guys. So a nice double play there. On the other side, my guy Quintana. So both of the starters in this game were teammates with me on the Mets. Both really good pitchers. Both go about it a little bit different. Q is one of the best pitch makers in the game in terms of command. His pitches flow together really nicely. Just deadly accuracy, a lot of nibbling. Lugo is more of the, unpredictable nature, loves to keep the ball on the ground, be a pitch efficient, but also has the crazy spin breaking stuff. Anyway, Q here. There's my other guy, Donovan Solano, teammate of mine in short season A ball. All right, to the runs. Eddie Rosario, RBI knock. This was the second pitcher for Colombia, Almeida, and he's the one who ran into a little bit of trouble. Little base hit, Eddie Rosario left on left. Much bigger crowd at the stadium tonight to watch Puerto Rico play. I think it's Sandy Alomar Jr. over there. Martin Maldonado, my fellow basically retired man. Oh, we don't want to load this clip because he's old. See, we got Willie Castro. Willie Castro double. I believe he's a Rocky now, which is awesome. One thing I noted is that most of the four seam for pitchers outside of MLB in these public stuff model doesn't have good grades, maybe because IVB plus arm slot. Well, I think at the end of the day, the stuff plus models are averaging, major league pitchers. So that includes some pretty ridiculous arms in there because it's the best arms in the world. So anything compared to that, apples to apples comparison to that's gonna be tough. It's a tough bar to clear. I'll say that. Very tough bar to clear. Here was Edwin punching out the last batter of his inning, pitch 24. Little dirty little slider. Nice little side shuffle from Martin Maldonado, and a big first win for Puerto Rico. What else do we have here? Got a little basket catch by Nolan. I love Nolan went full team Rubio with the dyed hair. I know he's catching some flack, but I think it's pretty damn cool that he's representing Puerto Rico. They use MLB balls. They're basically the exact same balls, just with a different stamp on them. So that's why we've been seeing in the Tokyo Dome so far some pretty good contact. And that's just Nolan being Nolan. Little basket catch there, no problem. They did have Beltran throw out the first pitch before this game. Obviously, local legend going into the Hall of Fame now. Well-deserved. Look at Carlos Delgado delivering him the ball. Surrounded by other Hall of Famers. Edgar Martinez. There's Pudge. So this was a big moment for the island of Puerto Rico with baseball. Yeah, Thiago Vieira pitching for Brazil. This is former White Sox. Not sure where he is now, but was a 100-mile-an-hour thrower. Just got Schwarber out. Brazil's competing in this game. All right, let's go look at the box. All right, for Puerto Rico, Willie Castro 1 for 3 with a double. Helio Ramos 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Did get an RBI. Nolan 0 for 4 with a punchy. Cortez 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Hernaiz 1 for 4. Manuel Rivera 0 for 4. Eddie Rosario 1 for 2. Miguel Lugo 0 for 2. And Martin 1 for 3 on the mound. Pretty good crew of pitchers through in this game. Lugo, Garcia, Moran, Yaxel Rios, Reyes, Fernando Cruz. Only threw one batter, interestingly, and Diaz. So they must have a day off or something trying to get Edwin a little work. But just a solid game all around. Colombia, I mentioned, Quintana looked really good. Other than that, they didn't do a whole lot. The hitters that we know about, the best day of the bunch was Harold Ramirez, 3 for 4. Gio Urshela 1 for 1 with 2 walks. That was a pretty positive part of the lineup, but Solano going 0 for 3, Rodriguez 0 for 4, Campero 0 for 4. They weren't able to get a big hit when it mattered. Let me go to my metrics for this game because I'm curious to look at Q and Mr. Lugo. All right, Seth Lugo. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of pitches that this guy has. Are you kidding me with this? Slurve, four-seam sinker, curveball cutter, slow curve. That's the first time I've ever seen slow curve denominated on here. Sweeper, slider, sweeper, and changeup. That's just Lugo trying to be Lugo. But that's some funny shit. That is some very funny shit. Wow. All right. Velocity-wise was fine. Not really going to see much. Was ripping those breaking balls, though. 3,082 average on the slurve. 3,334 on the curveball. Ridiculous. He's such a unique pitcher, has such big spin talent. Where's my whiffs at? What did he get good whiffs on? 67% on the slurve, 40% on the curve. It's just funny for a guy with this many pitches. It's like honestly more than Bassett in a lot of ways. You would think, at least I would think, that as a reliever he would have leaned into that even more. But he always wanted to pitch to contact. He always wanted to break bats and put some style points on it with his own way in his own way. And if I were him, I would have just went straight to a lot of these breaking balls and just said, see you later. Also, he had a lot of extra velo on his breaking balls today. So that's interesting to see for sure from Luke's. All right, let's go down to Fernando Cruz. He only threw 1 pitch and got a swing, and it was a fastball, and he got out, so nothing to see there. And then Edwin, I am curious just to take a quick gander at Edwin. Average 96.1 on the 4, 88.5 on the slider, slightly down from last year, but it's spring still. Huge whiff rate. I mean, 63% whiff on the slider, 75% on the fastball. He got 12 swings out of his 24 pitches, and he struck everybody out except for the 1 walk. His movement looks about normal, so that's good to see. Okay, Quintana. One thing I was curious to see with him in spring training this year was his fastball velocity. You know, going over to Coors, probably not. It's already, he's up against it a little bit, him and Sugano, because of the lack of whiff rate, but he's also getting a lot older, and he has to fight that in some way. So I was curious to see what the velocity would look like in spring. Trended up about 1 mile an hour across the board today. So that's a good sign physically for Quintana, which I like because I love Q. Everything else looks about the same. He only got 20% whiff, but it's not really his game. But he showed you that even when it's not his game, he can keep runs off the board. And I always think that's very impressive. First pitch strikes, 56%. It's fine. 82% strikes with the sinker, 75 with the curveball. So he'll find his way through any lineup. And Puerto Rico takes that first game. USA's got 2 on and 1 out. They really haven't broken this game open yet. Vlad sack fly in the other game. The average pitch type in an arsenal for MLB pitchers is almost 5. We've gotten to that point. We really have. It's gotten interesting. I'll say that. It's definitely gotten interesting. Everybody throwing so many pitches. Let me just see something. I think U.S. has no choice but to be patient, to be honest with you. These teams are going to nibble, and try to make USA get themselves out. I think that's probably the game plan. All right, what other games are already completed today? Let's go look at that Mexico-Great Britain game, which this game was a lot tighter than the final score. And we were locked in on this game when we were at practice today because we play both of these teams. So we were very curious to watch it. But yeah, this game was pretty close. All right. Nacho, we'll start with Nacho's home run if it will load. Of course, everything's going to take a little while to load because we just got here. All right, let's give it a second. So runs allowed is the first tiebreaker. I think you just have to pay attention if there's any combination of teams that are trending to both be 2-2 or 3-1. And if that's the case, then yeah, that's when we start paying attention to it. But at the first game, probably a little bit too early to pay attention. Besides winter ball and the Japan-Korea leagues, do many of these other WBC players have leagues to play in? Sure, there's some leagues in a lot of these countries. Mexico has their own league. Canada, I don't think so. Colombia has their own winter league. I know that you counted that. Let me think. There's a league in Taiwan. So Chinese Taipei. I don't know what the guys in Europe are doing. Not 100% sure about that, but there's also the ABL. Good call, Spectre, in Australia. So Czech and Brazil both have leagues as well. So yeah, I mean, there's leagues. Gabriel Barbosa coming in, minor leaguer with the Phillies, to try to get Brazil out of this jam here. All right, let's see if any of this stuff actually start playing. All right, Jonathan Aranda had the big swing in this game. This is the one that put it away, so we're kind of going out of order here. But a classic Crawford box home run here. Just stays inside a pitch, 2-0, and puts this game to bed. Now, you see the score at the moment was 1-1 in the 8th. So this was a very big moment in this game. This pitcher here, Beck, had just came in, and he gets rudely greeted by Mr. Aranda. And, Mexico has a very nice lineup. They're going to be a tough team for us. All right, Harry Ford, second tournament with Great Britain. And a huge swing here, which tied this game up in the 6th. Just beating a fastball to the spot. Really good swing. Look at this pitch again. It's 98 up and in. That's not an easy pitch to get to. So, see you later. I got love for Australia. We'll get to them. But we covered game 1 of Australia on yesterday's stream. All right, here's the Nacho home run. This is how Mexico got on the board off the rip. This was a nice poke. Sneaks it out over the bullpen there. You can see how much this means. There's a huge Mexican turnout down here in Houston. Everywhere I watch, everywhere I walk, I see USA jerseys. I see Mexico jerseys. Seen a lot of Brazil as well. So it's been pretty cool to be around here the last few days for sure. All right, this was the big play of the game. This is when they had a chance to take the lead. Great Britain. Smoke to left, but it's a short left. Randy gets it on one hop, and in real time, this felt like a really bad send, and it was a really bad send. But they were trying to push the envelope a little bit. You still got to make the throw, and Randy does a perfect job. I mean, just puts it right on the money. One hopper, right to Kirky, and that kept Mexico tied up. That was a huge play, huge play in this game. Munoz sealed the deal for Mexico. He looked great. He was like 98 to 100 with his usual breaking ball. And Mexico goes to 1-0 in this pool as well as they take care of Great Britain. But for a while, I have to say, this game was quite close. And it was getting sketchy. What else we got in this in these highlight package? We got a Joey Ortiz slick defense. Brewers player. Oh, yeah, baby. I love that little stand-up, little move on the slide with the knee. Come on, give me a replay. Here we go. Yee. Oh, it's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Here in Brazil, we don't exactly have a baseball pro league. What? I know there's a league, but what kind of league is it? I'm wondering. Obviously, a lot of these players are not native Brazilians that are playing for Brazil. But they have some. I mean, Jan Gomes is from Brazil. I saw him in the lobby this morning. I was talking to him for a little bit. Yeah, that was Ordonez like. Good call, Kev. Very good call. All right, Alec Thomas, RBI singled. Diamondback. Kind of like always like a weird softball type swing. Another little hit with the infield in. No surprise there. Pitch clock controversy in the USA game. Yeah, I must have missed that, but we got 0-1 count. Buxton at the plate here. Bases chucked. 1 out. Ooh, swing and miss. All right, Trace Thompson catch at the wall. Love me some Trace. Hit a nice game today for Great Britain. This is his second time playing for them. Played a hell of a right field and got an RBI double in this game. Nice play there. Here's his RBI double. Got some long arms. Even though they were down there, Trace had a nice day. You know, they have a decent offensive group. It's just overall not enough pitching. Here's a Joey Ortiz double for Mexico. Ooh, a little LeMahieu step in the bucket, slash it the other way. Brazil not happy about the pitch clock. Well, this pitcher Barbosa is trying to get out of this jam versus Buxton. He's doing his thing a little bit. Can I please review the Robert Garcia inning? So, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to go pitch by pitch right now. Hopefully, I'll have that in a day or two. But I can look at his data for sure. 1 inning, 1 strikeout. Vodnik, Munoz. I mean, Bernardino, a bunch of guys pitched pretty well for Mexico in this one. Just looking through the box score, Duran 0 for 3 with a walk, Randy 1 for 4, Ronda 2 for 5, Kirky 0 for 4, Rowdy 0 for 3 with a walk, Nacho 1 for 3, Nick Gonzalez 0 for 4, drove one pretty good to right though. Joey Ortiz 1 for 3. On the other side, Jazz 0 for 5 with a strikeout, Eaton 0 for 5, Harry Ford 2 for 3 with the dinger, Murray 1 for 3, Koperniak. What Johnson is this? Is this like Tamar Johnson? Yvonne Johnson. That's too bad. Lewis and Trace 2 for 4. Okay. All right, let's go to the data and try to look up our guy real quick. Robert Garcia, 1 mile an hour down on the 4-seam, 2 miles an hour down on the slider. Did get a whiff on a slider. Just 4-seam slider, a couple change-ups. Got a whiff on a change-up as well. Everything looks pretty much normal. Slider's got a little extra bite to it right now. Nothing really to see here. Average 90. I got up to 94.6. Pretty good player. So wait, did we just get a walk here? Buxton just walk here to make it 4-1. Professional baseball here is limited. Brazil. Most teams compete in amateur or semi-pro leagues, with the main national competition being the Brazilian Baseball Championship. Okay. Good to know. Thank you. Appreciate that. Buxton hitting the hands. He seems fine, though. I don't see any controversy. I keep missing things. I don't have that volume on. It's amazing how many decades baseball went by without time clock. Ricky Henderson would not like. Maybe he would, though. Ricky was always ready to rock and roll. And I think, Terang towards the... Yeah, oh my God, that ball could have been caught, maybe? But everybody's going to score. USA is about to break it open. This is going to be a 3-run double. Yeah, 3-run double from Terang. 6-1 US. So now they have a little bit of breathing room here, and they're showing Griffey for some reason. Buxton seems fine. Judge's checking on him, but seems good. Yeah, shouldn't the left fielder have made this play? Wait, let me see where it hits. Nah, he could have caught that. He just got messed up by the wall. Somebody asked me a question over here. Ayo, do you think pitch clock affects pitchers' rest and shortens outings? I think that when you have nobody on base, the pitch clock is awesome for a pitcher because now you're in control and the hitter has to address you with like 9 or 10 on the clock, so that puts them in a little bit of a bind. And you can kind of dictate things, whether you want to go slow, fast, whatever. But with guys on base and in long innings, the clock starts to wear on a pitcher. So obviously they can do some step offs to reset the clock, but there's only so much you can do with that. And in those situations, it's a little tough, for sure. Also, Victor Vodnik pitched for Mexico, averaging 99 too. So they have some firepower. Munoz, Vodnik, Robert Garcia. I don't know much about Natera or Carrillo. I know him a little bit, but I also know Bernardino. Now he's a Rocky, former Red Sox, one of the best dudes out there. So that's going to be pretty good. All right, I think that's it for this game. Mexico defeats Great Britain. So we can't go probably on the I don't know if there's going to be highlights yet of the DR game. Let's see, because it's still ongoing. Yeah, no, not yet. We can go live game, but it's not really going to give us much. Once this game's over, we'll review the highlights of this one. We can go look at some of the data on it now, though. Let's see here. All right, let's take a look at some of these Dominican pitchers, particularly Sanchez, who had a tough go. All right, so velocity looked fine in the normal range. Average 95, basically. Change up a little firmer slider. That's all his usual stuff. Did get 40% whiff, so there was plenty good here. But he also gave up a lot of hits, interestingly. None of them hard hit. All of the balls in play were not hard hits. He averaged only 83.4 on his exit velo, so maybe not his best game ever, but he did a lot of things right. 67% first pitch strike, 50% chase, 74% strikes overall, no hard hits allowed, 40% whiff. So I think he's perfectly fine. Obviously, he gave up some hits. Guys were doing a good job hitting it where they ain't. But from a data perspective, he didn't really do anything. Didn't really do anything wrong. Brazaban, my guy from the Metros, came in and did a great job. Throwing hard, changeup's his best pitch. Juan Mejia, averaging 98. Dennis Santana, I think right now he might be the Pirate closer, 40% whiff. Sir Anthony Dominguez, averaging 96.5, so slightly down, but still gas. Wandy Peralta, ground ball specialist. A little pumped up, throwing a little harder. Camilo Doval, averaging 96.6. Looks like he's the most recent pitcher. So Dominican doing Dominican things. In terms of the box score right now, where are we at in this Wago? Tatis 1 for 2, Cattell 1 for 3, Soto 2 for 4, Vlad 0 for 3, Manny 2 for 4, Junior 2 for 4 with the home run, which I haven't seen yet. Julio 1 for 3, Wellesley 0 for 3, Perdomo 0 for 2. This team has held tough. Nicaragua. And what's amazing is the hard hit percentage here. Now maybe this is hard hit allowed, but 30.8 versus 6.9, something's up there. Anyway. All right, let me go back to the chat here for a minute. Did Pasquantino buy Team Italy dinner? No, it was sponsored by the World Baseball Network, which is like a company that works with the Italian Federation and a lot of federations around the world. So they held a dinner for us. It was really good. Vinny's done a lot of talking. He's been the mic guy on the bus. He's hilarious. He's doing a great job at it. I think he's probably going to be the Italian guy for the rest of his career. The guy playing at each and every tournament. He's pretty ingrained here, and he's doing awesome. It's been good to get to know him a little bit. I know a lot of people like Vinny, and certainly now that I've gotten to know him a little bit, personality is fantastic. Well, with the pitch clock, pitchers need to focus on cardio now. A little bit. I live in the Northeast. This is of Brazil. So baseball here, it's almost non-existent. Baseball's more stronger in the Southeast. The Nippon immigration was stronger there. Okay, yeah. They have like a Japanese influence, Latin influence, and American influence all into their baseball. So it's pretty interesting for Brazil. These games remind me of coaching youth baseball. You just run out of pitching and then hope and pray. 100%. I mean, this is like what it looks like when you kind of slap it together for a tournament all over the world. And that's one of the things I like about this tournament. There's a lot of variance in it. There's a lot of varying skill levels, but the game of baseball is so quirky that, really anything can happen. So, it's very interesting. The BABIP monster got to Sanchez. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know why all 3 of Sanchez's runs weren't earned. Well, I'll tell you this. I think I and Mr. Sanchez would care a lot more about that if that was a regular season. As looks like Michael Wacha is the new pitcher for USA, up 7-1. But in this circumstance, nobody cares about your stats in WBC. And it's kind of fun to play baseball not caring about your stats. I will say that. Ooh, J-Rod just went deep. Vinny Boom Bats. Andrew, I am playing for Italy, and we play tomorrow versus Brazil, I believe at noon. And yes, there is a nice eye on our caps. I don't have all of that, but I probably have some of that. I know. Okay, you care for your scorecard. My bad. I hear you. All right, so what haven't we covered? I mean, this game's still ongoing, so there's no highlights for either of those. We've gone over all the others. Taipei and Czech just started. We'll definitely prance around some spring training as well. We should go to Australia. I know that somebody's been waiting carefully for Australia. They went 5-1 over the Czechs. So let's go back to here and find that game from yesterday and get the highlights, and we'll look at that since we haven't gotten into that yet. Yeah, the Aussies' second game. That's what we're about to check right now. What did I just do? Why did I do that? I don't want to do that. All right, Curtis Mead. This was the big blow, the 3-run bomb. I don't know if he's still with the Rays or... Whoa. Everybody calm down. What was that? We're going to have to reload this page. Yeah, Curtis Mead, the only major leaguer on the Australian roster right now. In the past, they've had more, and Bazana certainly will be there soon. But no Hendricks. A lot of the Aussies that had been around with big league time are gone now. Man, we are all of a sudden, my thing is freaking out. Why is my thing freaking out? Yeah, Mead's on another team now. He's not on the Rays anymore. Yeah, I made it. They're in the shop. I don't know how many are left, but they're in there. Baseball coffee. I've gotten a couple compliments wearing it around. You always gotta make sure the brand is hot when you're around everybody else. Give them some awareness that this show exists. Yeah, Waka's in the game right now for US. All right, now that this stopped freaking out, maybe we can watch this highlight. Here's the Curtis Mead just getting a really slow pitch from Andra, changeup of some sort, and smashing it into left. Now, the Czech team, not for nothing, they had some really interesting fastball changeup combination guys making their fastball really, really play up off of really slow changeups. There was a dude yesterday throwing 70-mile-an-hour changeups, and he was exposing guys with 84-mile-an-hour fastballs. So, on a very basic level, the game is timing. And there were some Czech pitchers that were doing a great job of upsetting timing despite not having velocity. Here's the other home run. Mr. Hall. He's got a solid mustache on him. Little Aussie stash. Yeah, I'm sure the Twins not demanded, but it's common sense. Like, you get hit on the hand, you come out for precautionary reasons in this game. You have another guy to put in there anyway, so you're fine. All right, what else we got? Here's the Robbie Perkins RBI single. He was the hero in Game 1 versus Taipei with that 3-run homer. Oh, here's a little fist job into right. It's the worst when you're pitching. Nothing you can do there. Did a good job there. All right, this is what I'm talking about. Andre Satoria. This is my guy right here. He's the one who struck out Shohei in the last Classic. Slow curveballs, slow changeups, and a little bit of a sneaky heater, and a real feel for pitching. And he shredded everybody. That's a changeup. I love watching this guy throw the rock. Look at this changeup. Oh, 71 never gets there. Thing's got a parachute attached to it. Oof, dirty changeup again. I don't know. It's just really fun to watch guys compete at a high level without physical ability, because at its core, this game is a skill sport. Of course, your physical ability sets your ceiling, but it's still a skill sport. I mean, what a performance from Satoria. Let's go to their data from this game. Curious to actually look at that for a second. All right, where's my guy we just watched? Here he is, Andre Satoria, 52% changeup, averaging 71 on the changeup. 68 mile an hour curveball, 78 mile an hour fastball, 78 mile an hour sinker, and he kept those combined to about 27%. So pitching off the changeup, it's just phenomenal. Changeup and fastball have almost the same shape, so it kind of disguises it, and it's just a straight slow, and slower approach. He got 45% whiffs on that changeup. God, what a cool pitch. What a cool job by him. 42% first pitch strike, because, he's going to have a hard time attacking the zone, but then he can go right to the slow stuff. So it's pretty funny. Ooh, 10-3 DR, 450 feet, 117 mile an hour. Is that O'Neal Cruz? Oof, I want to get that. I wish I could get it right now. I'm so flustered by this. Not sure if it's me, but there seems to be a big surge in interest in college baseball. I wonder if it's because of streaming access or maybe just me. No, I don't think you're missing on it. I think college baseball is putting out a really great product right now, and people are noticing. There's also access to watch a lot of these games. More money's getting pumped in via NIL. Players are now developing at a very fast rate, so the quality of the college game is different now. There's a lot more power involved. The physical stuff is kind of solved. Oh my God, there's a guy wearing number 0 pitching for Brazil. I love it, buddy. Do it. Marostica, or however you say that. So just looking really quick at the Czech pitchers in this game. Andra topped out at 87.3. Andre Satoria, 80.1. Ryan Johnson, 88.7. Marek Minarek, 89. And so they didn't throw one pitch at 90 in this game, which is just so fascinating. And then on the Australian side, 91, 93, 89, 89, 90, 91. It's just like a blast from the past in a lot of ways, looking at some of these pitchers. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't sharing my screen there. Not that there was much to see anyway. I was just reading off some random stuff. DR Sellies are insane. I'm sure they are. I can't wait. Get that game over with so I can get and watch all these plays. Which MLB team is Satoria on? That's funny. I wish he was. I think these draft classes are helping, but a lot of that is like Skeens, Cruz, Burns, yes, etc. But it's just like guys are getting such better player development now in the college ranks. And so then they get to the big leagues really fast and they're really polished and people know their stories a little bit more. And then they start to buy into, wow, they're not that far away in the college level now. So I think that's pretty good. Off-speed pitches are the most difficult for me to evaluate. Well, you got to take a lot of things into account. That's for sure. Soto's takes are things of beauty. My man doesn't chase. He doesn't. He refuses to. Let's go check that DR box score right now, as they have now opened it up to 10-3. Every single guy on base except for Vlad, and he's got two ribbies, and then Wells. Other than that, they're dominating. Julio 2 hits, Junior 2 hits, Machado 2 hits, Soto 2 hits, Tatis 2 hits, Cattell with a hit, and then O'Neill pinch hit, 3-run nuke. So they're rolling. I mean, top exit velocities: 116.8, 111.6, 110.8. I mean, they're a physically dominating team. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I could probably just go ahead and Google some stuff. I don't think he pitched poorly based on the data. I mean, I'd love to watch every pitch to evaluate his command level, but yeah, I mean, I think once you get your feet under you a little bit, generally it's a little bit easier to calm it down. All right, so it's so annoying because I have all the plays right here. Like this video, there's access to this video, and we could be watching every pitch right now if we want to, except that they've blocked me at the moment. See, it's going to say video unavailable, which is not very nice, but there's the summary. So that's where it went, obviously. Straight away right, friggin' nuke. Where's the pitch? Wow, down and away. Pulled the down and away fastball. So go figure that. Must be the Platanos. Yeah, Vlad has gotten on base. 11-3. So they're getting close to mercy rule status. They need to add 2 more here to end the game if they're the home team. Saw any Imai slider. That's a unicorn pitch, but I don't know how efficient it can be without my arm slot. All right, why don't we dig into a little spring training for a minute while we're waiting on Dominican game to end. We'll take a look at that. Obviously, the U.S. game is ongoing. They're winning 7-1. No outs in the 6th. Probably going to blow this game open pretty good now. Cal Raleigh just missed one. 3 players I remember wearing 0 were Al Oliver, Ray Ordonez, and Adam Ottavino. Yep, those are probably the main 3. Obviously, some other guys have worn it since. You know, Stroman and, you know, quite a few others, honestly. But, yeah. All right, let's go into... Let me look at my phone for a second here, and then I'm going to figure out what spring training games to take a gander at. If you guys have any suggestions, because those I can get on the Dugout app right now, so we can look up some stuff. And I have not been locked in at all on the spring training stuff today, so let me go take a peek. I only wore 00 in spring last year. I didn't watch it overall. Overall, I was number 0, single 0. Okay, Cam Schlittler pitched. He struck out 4, so maybe that's worth watching. That was his spring debut. Tigers 11, Red Sox 3. Verlander pitched. So that's something to maybe look at. Astros 7, Nationals 1. No Imai there. When did Imai pitch? Did Imai pitch recently? All right, Cardinals, Orioles, Phillies, Pirates, Blue Jays, Barrios pitched. Brogdon, Dolander again, so we can watch him again. Andrew Abbott, Jack Leiter, Kay. A lot of games today, obviously. On the Mets side of things, Manaea. So Manaea made his debut. I don't think we'll have that game on the Dugout app, but let me take a peek. That's Mets Marlins. I would like to start with Manaea if we can, because we haven't seen him in a while. I'll at least look at the data, but I don't think we're going to get the video, unfortunately. Let's see. Come on, Shawnee. Oh, we got center field angle. Okay, great. 89.5 on a fly out. So we don't get the high home, but we know that was an out. -19 and 14.1. I mean, that's right away, that's a crazy metric. 89.5. I'm not going to freak out about his velocity probably at all. I just want to see that it looks like he can extend his arm and that he feels good and he's going to throw some changeups. Sorry about the screen again. Sorry, guys. All right, here's Shawnee Manaya, the tribal chief. So 89, 87 early. Here's a changeup. Jams a guy on a changeup. Sinker. So there's some changeups. Remember, he wasn't throwing hardly any of them last year. It was all these really slow sweepers and fastballs. He had kind of banged the changeup. So to me, it looked like he was having a hard time getting any extension out of his elbow. So I'm curious to watch how this outing went. Sweeper, homer. So he gets clipped for a homer there by Connor Norby, 97.3 at 31. Let's watch that pitch again. Honestly, a pretty good swing to be diving like that and still clip it. How we doing? What's up, Rusties? Thanks for joining. Out of Manea, Senga. In my opinion, Senga's going to pitch better. Well, no doubt about it. Senga's going to feature more velocity and pure impressive stuff. Sean, when his velo gets above 92, it's amazing. His fastball is incredible. I'm just curious to see how he looks because he dealt with all that injury stuff last year. All right, ball. See, that was 85. I don't know that was a sweeper. That was a misread. Here's a sweeper for a ball. I mean, he's kind of featuring what I'm featuring right now, velocity-wise. Not that encouraging for this first outing on the physical side of things. I don't care what type of funk you have. You can't live at 87, so it's going to be interesting. Yeah, the tribal chief. I mean, I love Sean. And he doesn't need a whole lot of velo. He just needs some, and obviously this is his first start. But he doesn't really have any in this game. Arm slot looks a bit higher. It's still pretty low, but I'd be curious what it's at. Maybe a bit higher than when he went full low. Let me just see the take back out of the glove, the elbow. I feel like that's more extension than he was getting last year at least. So clearly whatever they did with the elbow, with the spurs or the bone, the loose bodies, gave them a little bit more extension. So that's good. Sweeper for a ball. Not really much command out of Sean either in this one. Change up, fly out. I mean, this is an 85.5 fastball, guys. And a complete pull Johnson, too. I'm not feeling great about it, guys. I know it's early, but he should be a great throw by Alvey right here. Can we replay this throw by my guy Alvey? Getting Sean a free out. Perfect throw on the bag. Semien with the tag. Nice pit. Nice play. I'm just a little worried because this is like a little bit lower than I was hoping for. If he sat at 88 the whole time, I could probably dismiss it. But these are fastballs, I think, at 85, guys. I don't think these are actually changeups. So I'm a little worried. First pitch out here, 87. It's the pop-up. And when he's right, that's the thing. His ball plays from such an uphill angle that it's pretty special. All right, well, at least he's back up to 88 here. 89 here. Looks like he's giving it a little more effort here. And I like that he's back to throwing the changeup. Very important pitch for him. All right, well, he did get back up to more of the 88, 89 range in this phase right here. You can see how that heater up and away really plays. All right, here's a one pitch out. And this is the last pitch of his outing. Oh, God. Got him out, though. All right, let me go look at the data on this because I don't think it's what we're going to want to see. Man, we need Sean to get up to like, if he can just be like 92 and feeling healthy, then his pitches will start to look better. I'm not going to freak out yet, but I was hoping. I'm definitely a little worried though. I mean, you see the drop and everything. I mean, last year he only averaged 91.7, and right today it was 88.1. Sweeper actually was harder, so maybe that's a little bit more encouraging. Just command didn't look great to me. Action didn't look great. I mean, he got 1 whiff on 16 swings, 6% whiff. I know it's spring training, but that's a little iffy, to say the least. Did throw 6 out of 10 first pitch strikes, allowed 3 hard hits. I guess we'll keep monitoring him, but yeah, I mean, not the physical jump off point that we were hoping for from Anaya. Maybe they only wanted 75%. I don't know. Waka looks great in this game, by the way. I see what you're saying here, Prepsley. He just punched a couple guys on changeups. He's looking really nice. Torquing arm at that angle has to stress the arm a lot. I just think last year he was never really recovered from that previous year. I mentioned how Sean was barely able to lift his arm during the CS against the Dodgers. That's how much he had thrown our team on his back that year, and how many innings he had pitched. And I don't know what the residual effect. You never know what the residual effect is in the moment, but he hasn't looked great in a while since. So it's kind of tough. Someone needs to pull the plug before he gets more injured. See, it just doesn't look great to me. He did have a little bit more extension at least in it, but that didn't look great. There's some more Mets to watch in this game now. We got a Craig Kimbrell sighting. Looks like he's throwing slower. He got a ton of whiffs, though. Devin Williams, Brian Hudson, who's an interesting arm angle. Jaquez, Ryan Lambert, Max Meyer pitched in this game. It's actually quite a bit to look from this game. So let me go pick through a few of these Mets real quick. Let's look at Kimbrell. He doesn't do much. Just want to watch the finishing pitches just to get an idea. Swinging strike on a sweeper. Man, I never thought I'd see the day where Craig Kimbrell's throwing a sweeper instead of a curveball, but he gets a punchy there. This is an out on a fastball. Just doesn't have a lot of velo anymore. I don't think without velo he can probably make the Mets. Sweeper here. That was a very good location. Nice pitch. That's a really good pitch. All right. So there's Craig. What's up, NYM 348? Appreciate you coming through. He's still doing the lean over, yep. All right, let's look at Dev. All right, first strikeout on a changeup. Metric is unbelievable. -2.3 and 21.8 to the right. Dirty backdoor airbender. And Mets fans, don't fret too bad the loss of Edwin. As much as we love Edwin, this guy's going to be filthy for the Mets this year, I tell you what. All right, slider. This is something he's been working on. -6.3 and 7.3. So sort of a weird cutter-ish, slider-ish, not very hard. Probably doesn't grade very well breaking ball, but I like that he has something going the other way. He didn't like the location of this pitch. He wanted this pitch more in the dirt. I do think Kimbrell 445. For me, he's a Hall of Famer, yes. Personally, but I don't think he'll make the Mets, though. All right, fastball here for Dev. There's a walk. Just missing. Wonder if he threw any more sliders in this sequence. Oh, here's a cutter. Dude, that's a pretty good shape, though. Timeout. 12.2 vert with -6. This is a tremendous cutter shape. This ball took a hard left and stayed up really well. This would be a nice addition to the arsenal if he can get it right. Not throwing it terribly hard, but it would be a great pitch to drop in there for strikes. You'll get a lot of guys off the barrel with that. I'm surprised he can do that. All right, what else? Change up, four seam, no. Okay, last batter. Ooh, 2 sliders to finish. All right, so 2-0 slider. Drops it in there for a strike, and then 2-1 slider. Little tapper back to him. You know, for such an extreme pronator, he did a good job of making balls go left today. Slider -8, cutter was at -6. I don't know, it's something interesting. I don't know what to make of it yet. But he's working on some new stuff here. Let's look at the shape on these pitches. So they're not particularly hard. I mean, the slider's hardish for a slider, but the cutter is not particularly hard for a cutter. All right, slider was 6 and 7, cutter was 12 and 6. So they're distinctly different. They're distinctly different. The difference is the vert on them. So interesting to have something going left for a change. We'll see how that affects things. What was rude? Did I say something rude about Kimbrel not making the Mets probably? I don't know. Sorry to whoever I was rude to. Yankee, yeah, Williams has 6.5 years of good resume with a bad 3 months with the Yanks. Yeah, I mean, he was extremely unlucky. We've gone over him a lot. He'll be fine. Yanks wrote him off, but his second half was basically regular dev. I agree with that. Did I say 6-7? Dev and Diaz would have been the best duo on MLB, no doubt. I think there's no question about that in my mind. Oh, his first changeup was rude. Batter was giving him the evil eye walking away. Dirty. I could see this little bit of the facial hair thing, just like, I don't know, karma. Like, not that was like a big deal, but just something where, you know, there's a penalty for making a big change like that in a way. I don't know. All right, who's next up for the Mets that we want to see? Want to look at this Brian Hudson guy at all? Fastball velocity seems to be up. I think he's got a really weird angle, so I'm curious to see him. Yeah, weird angle. So we'll speed watch and we'll see if it gets us out. Sweeper. We'll roll over. In play runs. This is going to be a homer. Ooh, good swing. Only 99 at 26, though, and that gets out. What happened to the old Roger Dean Stadium? Everything was a graveyard back then. Ooh, bases loaded for Nicaragua. Ooh, tangential to discussion of lower velo. Do you think Jamie Moyer could hang with his stuff, or has the game advanced too much for that kind of profile to find success? He could hang, but like not the very end of Jamie Moyer. Like the prime Jamie Moyer, which is somehow, I believe, like 42, 43 years old, could hang because he could, but he wouldn't be like he would be what he was. He would be, you know, a number 5. He'd be a number 5. He would get crushed a lot, but he would also eat innings pretty well. And at times the games would be really efficient, but he wouldn't be scaring anybody for sure. It's so hard to pitch with that diminished velo, but he was a true master at it for sure. Do you think Diaz is using the excuse of Dev being signed and no one spoke to him as an excuse to go to the Dodgers? I don't really know. I know Edwin loved being a Met. Everything that I've heard, you know, we have Dave Burney working with us, who's the visiting clubhouse guy for the Mets, and all the clubbies were extremely close with Edwin in New York. And everything I've heard, he's been FaceTiming these guys every day. So, you know, a big part of his heart was left in New York. I don't know what happened with the negotiation, but that was the one that was, of all the moves this offseason, that was the one that surprised me the most. So I don't really have a great answer to this question that you just asked, but thank you for it. Glad Gregory Soto is not a Met anymore. I agree. I've never been a fan. He's prone to these games where he can blow up with lack of command, even though he's throwing 100 from the left side. I don't know what's happening with Nicaragua. Somebody keep me posted. What else we got here? What new BP do you see a lot you like a bullpen guy? I guess I got to think about that a little bit. I don't know if he changed Yankee policy. Honestly, maybe he did, but if he did it, it's for the better anyway. I totally agree with you that it was probably for the better and it was bound to happen at some point. But you don't want to be the face of anything because I don't know. Anytime people are putting negativity in the air around you, there's an effect. I can't really like put my finger on it. Yeah, it's an excuse. He got lit up on socials and that story hit right after it. I mean, it's whatever. He's with the team that he wants to be on. It's okay. Can you explain pronation versus supination? Yes. So if this is square, throwing a pitch with like curve, like a slurve or a curveball, you have to supinate your hand. So that means the back of your wrist pointed towards the plate or further. When you pronate, it's this way. Devin Williams is probably the most extreme example of a pronator because on his airbender, he gets like in here to spin that ball in that direction. Most guys in the big leagues, if they pronate, it's pretty subtle. But anyway, everybody pronates after the throw. It's just how early do you start that process. But supination is this way. And the guys with great spin rate, they can hold this supination position a really long time before their arm wants to naturally pronate back. So that's probably as good as I can do to explain that right now. In terms of pitch styles, you can throw a wider range of pitches as a supinator, but as a pronator, you can throw some of the nastier pitches, like really good four-seamers, really good gyro sliders, death balls, knuckle curves, sweepers, a lot of top shelf type shit. If you can name one thing that tanked the Mets season, what was it? I mean, I wasn't there, but I watched it. It was just the starting pitching. Starting pitching fell apart. There was a length of time where they only had a start past 6 innings, like when Peterson was on the mound, for like many months. You just can't win like that. So that was it. Screwballer pronates a lot. Correct. All right. So that was Brian Hudson. I'm not really that interested in watching much more of him. Do you want to watch Lambert for a second? Because he's been a guy that a lot of Met fans have been interested in. Just gripping and ripping it. 98 miles an hour. Might have an opportunity to impact the pen. 98 with 18.6. Tremendous four-seam. There's a strikeout on a four-seam with 21 vert. Now that is a heater. 98.4 at 21 vert. Are you kidding me? So this kid's got a big league heater for sure. Here's a walk. Probably also part of the Ryan Lambert experience, I would imagine. That's usually what keeps guys like this not quite in the show yet. And then he's going to get a punch out here with a fastball. So electric fastball in this game, sitting about 98 with 19 inches of vert. What was Lambert's averages today? Average 19 and 5 on the 4, -2 and 0. So a true gyro slider, and 1 and 3 on the cutter, which is kind of a weird pitch. Those are probably the same. But 20 out of 23 pitches fastballs. So really relying on that fastball. And it's a good enough one, even at that percentage, to get 50% whiff. So that's pretty damn good. Dante Jr. hasn't played in like 4 or 5 seasons. So it's kind of interesting that he finds himself on this stage playing with the crazy green hair that he's been rocking too. Dylan Ross and Ryan Lambert going to come up and get some cups of coffee. Okay, you're calling for LeGrande to the big leagues immediately, but like they need to continue to develop him as a starter, and I don't know if it makes sense for him to break camp in one of the 5 spots as a starter. But I think down the stretch he might really impact. He might really impact. But if you put him in the bullpen, he's probably good right away, but that might stunt his development to becoming a real good starter. I think he's got a chance because he's got good secondary pitches like LeGrande. Ooh, what's this email about? Did they just give me access? Tell me they gave me access. We've unblocked your access to these now. Can you see them if you try again? Oh, let's try. Let's try. Yeah, do-da. No, maybe I have to relog in. Let's try that. Can't let you guys see my password. Hold on. Let's say the real test is the USA game. Yes, we are back. We are so back, guys. We are so freaking back. We can get every pitch now. Here's a Bryce Terang double. Thank you, MLB, for hooking me up. This is fantastic. Now we can get a full look at Contreras. We can look at all sorts of pitchers. Let me tell them. It worked! Exclamation point. Thank you. Let's go. MLB coming through clutch. Clutch, clutch, clutch. All right, let's watch all the quick stuff from USA game. It all started, obviously, well, we'll watch the Bobby Witt infield hit. Oh, no, no, no. What do you mean unavailable? Why? Why? Maybe because when they gave me the access? Huh. So annoying. All right, let's go to Dominican then. We're going to take a break on USA and then we'll go back. All right, Dominican highlights. So let's start with the Dominican versus Nicaragua highlights. We'll start with the big dingers first. O'Neal freaking Cruz. Yes, Carlos. La Sangre. República Dominicana. Oh my God. Oh my God. That ball was murdered. Ooh, I love the pimp job too. Very subdued. Ooh, I like their little varsity jacket they got. Can we watch that again? Because this ball is absolutely touched. Absolutely touched. When he hits it, he hits it. I wish he would hit him more often. Oh. Imagine how freaking loud that was in the ball yard. Oh, come on. Don't put a limit on LeGrand, hey? He could do it, but at the end of the year, bring him in the pen if you need to level up the pen. I just don't think there's any need to skip to that point yet, in my opinion. Honestly, that's how I would run it if it were me. That bat speed is right. That bat speed is right. All right, let's watch the other home runs. Here's Julio's. Oh, little pull side fly ball action. Into the old Clevelander. Looks like he pimped it too because he just got to first base. Here it is. Oh, yeah. Yee. Very nice. Pretty ridiculous that they have this guy batting, what, 7th? All right, Junior. Caminero, baby. This guy's slowly becoming one of my favorite hitters because he does everything I say you can't do, and he dominates anyway. God, he hits the ball hard. He's stupid. That's different. That's a freaking line drive home run to center. And he is juiced. He's a young freaking legend, this kid. Dude, the ball's different off his bat. Look at the enthusiasm. Look how jacked up this guy is. Let's watch that field view. Dude, I just saw that home run. Man, look at the Dominican crowd, by the way. I mean, it's just different. Oh my God, what a celly. He's doing it all. He's doing a million different things here. He got handshakes with everybody. They're having a blast. They are having a blast. All right, what else we got here? We got a Manny Machado bare hand play. Who does that? Oh, and he knows it's making it. Look at the fans. This shit is so cool. All right, RBI double for Vlad. Still, people still trying to pound this guy in with fastballs and sinkers. That was only 87, though. No luck. I don't know if I faced Junior or not. I might have faced him. I mean, you try to get him out. Yeah, we watched him already. He was sick, Zach. He throwing topping out at 78, dominating with the changeup. So sick. All right, let's watch some Manny plays. There's that play from the top. I mean, it's just it makes it look so easy. So easy. That's not easy. Oh, that's the second one. Oh, ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Vlad's like laughing as he catches it. Oh, high five in the fans. Sick. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right. Sanchez K's 4. We looked at the data already, and it told a tale of him being somewhat unlucky. So let's watch the strikeouts at least. Ooh, good slider there. But does he reach here? See, that's bad luck. That's terrible luck. That's not his fault. Wellesley. Another slider down. See ya. Man, this is bases loaded. He had to really do damage control here. Man, 3 punchies with sliders. Nice pitch. It's going to be a changeup. Yeah, changeup. Good pitch. So he held strong there, kept them at 1 run. That was a big thing. This game was close for a while. So that was really good. Que Paulo de O'Neill Cruz. That was ridiculous. Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. Yeah, I agree with this. Fairchild Grand Slam in the Taipei game? What else we got? Yeah, we're going to watch that in a minute. Once we get a chance to go over that. 311 on base for Junior. He can be a 900 OPS with some discipline. I know it's part of what I worry about him with him because again, he just has so much going on with the swing, but he's found a way to make it work. But yeah, I mean, it might hurt his ability. Might hurt his ability a little bit on close pitches. You know, once he gets started with that move, it's somewhat hard to stop it. All right, there's Marte with a double. Look at Tatis coming flying around. That was how they tied it. What an experience for Wells. Julio Borbon, first base coach. Carlos Fables, third base coach. Pujols, manager. It's crazy. God, I want to watch that O'Neill Cruz home run again because that was just different. Show me that again. Yeah, there's so much going on right now, Maya. You're totally right. USA needs DR energy, so much more electric. Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, this USA game's kind of tight right now, 7-4. I mean, we're playing this Brazil team tomorrow. They're going to gain a lot of confidence after this outing against USA. It's going to be intriguing to watch it. I believe it was 450. Yeah, 450. Cobra's on that. I think Wells will be at least partially fluent in a week into this. There's no question about it. Yes. What a stud. All right. All right. If I go to the US game and I go to plays, now that I should be allowed to watch something, right? I want to watch something. Joseph Contreras. Give me this video. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I think it's because they gave me the permission later, so it's like everything past a certain timestamp. So we'll be really in business tomorrow. Whatever. Let's go look at the data from this game, though, because I want to look at Contreras' data since he looked pretty dang good. Throwing very hard for a high school guy. Facing some big dogs. Breaking Aaron Judge's bat. I mean, you'll never forget that as long as you live. Ever. Here he is, Joseph Contreras. Oh, thank you, Green Monster. Hopefully he'll stay nasty. Yeah, I don't know how this game's close, to be honest with you. Bregman just got pelted in the back. All right. Joseph Contreras, averaged 96.6 on the four seam, 80.3 on the changeup, which is like a Vulcan changeup, sort of similar to what his old man used to throw, Mr. Jose Contreras. That's a massive gap. It's not quite a forkball. I mean, you look at the spin rate on it, 1375, so it's not down in that Roki territory, but that's a 16 mile an hour difference, which is kind of crazy. It's a very unique look to have that much separation. Sinker threw a couple of those at 94, cutter 88, curveball 78, only threw one of those. Let's look at his movement. 14-9 on the four seam, so very average shape on the four seam. Changeup 5-13. I don't mind that. I like the contrast at least. Sinker 11-16. It's okay. Cutter 5 and -2. More of a slider, and then curveball 0 and 8, so more of a sweeper type of pitch that he threw one of. I mean, he's a very high ceiling. Obviously, he's got a long way to go to be polished, but showing outstanding velocity, and the contrast between the fastball and the changeup is certainly interesting for sure. Yeah, I think that's the third or fourth hit by pitch from in the USA game, which is kind of interesting. Imagine going from the high school zone to the WBC zone in back-to-back outings. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a very good point. Let's look at his pitch 3D. If they have that. Let's see. Doesn't look like they have that yet. Okay. All right, U.S. box score. So they've been able to get 7 innings out of Webb and Waka, and they're winning. I know Waka gave up the home run, so that's 3 runs there. On the offensive side, it's been pretty rough go. Tons of walks, but that hasn't equated to a ton of runs. I mean, they have some, but they haven't broken out like we expected. I thought they were gonna. I mean, they had a 9.5. They were a 9.5 run favorite in this game. I thought they were gonna score 15 runs easy. But we'll see. They're gonna drop off a swag bag, so I'm gonna have to see what's in that with you guys live on here in a little bit. Anyway, Bobby 1 for 3, Bryce 0 for 4 with a walk, Judgy 1 for 4 with a walk. That was a home run. Schwarbs 2 for 4 with a walk. Bregman 0 for 1 with 3 walks. Cal 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Roman 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Byron 0 for 2 with a RBI. PCA's in there now, and Terang 2 for 4. So we'll see how they close this one out. Now there's a 3-run game. I don't know if you'll see Mason Miller, but you're going to see somebody. Maybe Bednar. Probably come in this game for U.S. 12 walks, 1K, and yet they only have 7 runs. You would think they would have 15 runs. Maybe eliminate All-Star Weekend and put WBC midseason. Heard a lot of people talking about this. I'm not sure how that would work. I think teams would be even more freaked out to have their pitcher go pitch in a serious competition midway through, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Can't wait for Skeens and Scooble and McLean games, especially if make the final. Just see how McLean handles the pressure. So I would say I was there for intros today. Players who got notably bigger applauses from the U.S. crowd: Skeens, Goldschmidt, Kershaw. Those 3 were big. I'd say on the reserves list. Scoobles was pretty big as well, but not as big as those 3. And then on the main list, Judge got a nice applause. Bregman got the biggest cheer being back from Houston, if that makes any sense. If that makes sense, which I think it does in a way. I'm here pretty late. Are we going to preview tomorrow's games? Yeah, sure. We'll go through tomorrow's games because I'm probably looking at a baseball after dark again for tomorrow night because we have an afternoon game, so I can't do the morning. Yeah, I don't want to freak out about Manaya's outing, but it wasn't what I was looking for from a physical standpoint. Arm looked like it had more extension to it, but he wasn't really throwing 90 miles an hour. He was mostly in the upper 80s, dropped a little bit at times to the mid 80s. Didn't seem to have great command. He did bring back his changeup, which was nice to see, but wasn't exactly as good as I was hoping for him to look. But we have time, so we'll see. What do you think MLB will do for the LA Olympics? Well, I'm thinking they're gonna let the players play. I'm hoping they do, because it would be awesome. But I guess I'm actually not sure. But I can see the argument for it in terms of growing the game and overall engagement. So I guess you must be ahead of me if Roman gets out here. Then there would be more guys left on base. Okay, here's that home run. Why is this unavailable? I don't understand. I'm getting so annoyed now. Why was some stuff available and some stuff wasn't? Shit. All right, give me a sec here. I got to take the do not disturb off my door because they're coming to deliver something. So just sit tight for 1 minute. Roman did something because it's 8-4 now. No, it wasn't Uber Eats. I'm waiting on like the swag bag or whatever. Then I can go ahead and damn, I got so excited that everything was working. But now it doesn't seem like everything's working. Do we have this? Okay, we got the hit from Roman just now. Roman does pull a lot of ground balls, but he usually hits them hard enough to get him through. Look at Judgy coming lumbering around and scoring. How hard he hit that? He only hit that 82. Side view. He's got such a good swing. Nice little knock there. It's available. It's all here. There's just some issues going on right now, but hopefully it will work. Yes. So we were talking about this too with the schedule. PCA just got out. Like you can definitely get a favorable schedule in terms of off days and game start times. I think we're pretty good with Italy. We go day off, night. That's not bad at all. Um, so we'll see. Left on left, he's that good. He's just already like all the indicators are so impressive from Roman. We get the Buxton hit by pitch. Take a look at that. Ooh, that kind of hurt. That hit him in the oblique? Yo, that hurt. I think that hit him right in the stomach. Oh no, back arm. Back arm. That hurt though either way. Oh. Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's ribs or back arm or ab, but something in there. Does Team Italy have a celly ready to go? For sure they have something. I think they're doing some of these on second base, but I don't know, man. We have such a young team. Let them have fun. We'll see what they do. Wouldn't the 2028 Olympics take place in July? So that's a big interest in August. It's either August or July. Mm. Ugh. No, the swag bag's not coming. Oh, I misclicked a setting, but it should be better now. Oh, let's see. Because so far stuff has come up a little bit. All right, let's backtrack to the Judge home run. Yeah, let's go, baby. So this was a 3-0 pitch, and it goes to the 3-0 breaking ball. He just throws it right down the middle, and Judge does not miss those. First WBC at bat, and the captain goes yard. I mean, you kind of knew it was coming. I think I mentioned it because Caglione was sitting next to me with his dad in the suite I was in, and I was like, he's gonna hit a home run. Like, you just kind of know it. All right, Gabe Spire in the game for U.S. in the bottom of the eighth. All right, here's that Lucas Ramirez home run. This is the Manny Ramirez's son's home run off Logan Webb. This is a nice swing. He goes down and gets this. He knew it, but then he was like, is it? Sure enough, gone. I told you. That's what he just said. Did you see that? I told you. He was on it. He was on it. So it was funny. In that spot, there was an open base for Judge. And he got to 3-0. And I was like, well, it's kind of early to walk him. But I mean, sure enough, he goes deep. Pretty amazing. Yeah, the Twins do need to put their whole team in bubble wrap. Good call. All right. What else we got from this Wago? Now that we can look at it a little bit. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait. Let's watch the Joseph Contreras. Let's watch all of Joseph Contreras because he was actually pretty impressive. And he deserves it. He deserves it. Imagine being this young facing the dream team. It's pretty freaking cool. Pumping 97 like nothing. Nice clip. Some of these clippers, man, I don't get it. There's that Vulcan. That thing is gross. I mentioned it's 16 miles an hour slower than his fastball. That's a pretty good combination, just on a very basic level. He throws hard, and he's got a pitch 16 miles an hour below it that clearly his old man taught him, and that he can throw with, making it look like a fastball out of his hand. That's really nice. There's another one in the dirt. But I like it. I like the action on it, even though it was a ball. Also showed really good poise in this game. Like this, it's not easy to have this type of poise in this moment, for sure. Oh my God, Brazil just hit another home run. Ramirez off of Spire. If you want to see it, let's go see it. Here it is. Lucas Ramirez home run. This just happened, folks. His second of the day. Oh my God, look at the pimp job. I mean, he just feels like he's Manny's kid. This is a heck of a game. Brazil homers again. Gabe Spire got touched. So he's homered off Logan Webb and Gabe Spire. Left on left. Lucas Ramirez, you're shitting me. This is awesome. Can we get him from the third base side view? What a swing. 106.3 at 50 degrees. Home run at 50 degrees. Almost never see that. No DNA test needed. Everybody knows who his old man is. He's got magic in them hands. It's pretty damn cool. Unbelievable. Really. Literally unbelievable. All right, so they're back in it. He has punched out the other two batters he's faced. They might have to go Mason Miller in the ninth. That's kind of wild. All right, so what else we got here? That was I was still watching Contreras. So Buxton lines out, Terang doubles. I mean, that's a pretty good pitch. It's just a better swing. 98 up in the up in quadrant to the lefty. It's a good pitch. Ayo, how in shape do guys get before the WBC? Is there a notable change like guys showing up to train earlier? Yeah, everybody just pushes their training up. They're throwing up a couple weeks so that they can get where they need to be. Otherwise, you're just an idiot and you're going to get hurt probably. So for the most part, people know what to do at this time with this stuff. Okay, so that was the double by Terang. Then he walked Witt and Harper. And here's the Aaron Judge at bat that results in the double play. So we'll try to watch all three pitches. This is impressive. And really a moment he'll never forget. Doors, 97 up top. Beautiful. Forkball, kind of a good take, kind of a weird pitch. And then he blows him up for a double play. Not afraid to go in on Aaron Judge. Completely shatters his bat. I don't think at his age I'm going in on Aaron Judge. I would have been pooping my pants a little bit. Like, I don't want to hurt this guy. He's the MVP. If I hit him, I look like an asshole. And then he just rips a perfect pitch up and in and shatters his bat for the double play. I could not be more impressed with that. That is so freaking cool. Let's see if there's any reaction to him off the bat. Oh, he got excited. He started running. Maybe we'll get a good one from center field so I can get his reaction. Oh, we didn't get to see the whole thing, but I'm sure he was juiced. That's so cool to see. Great pitch. Great freaking pitch. All right, so he got out of that inning. Then the next inning, single by Schwarb. I love that we have these videos now. We're freaking locked in, guys. So single to Schwarb's. Wild pitch. Bregman ground out, and then another walk. So he did lose the command a little bit, but I mean, hey, big time double play of Judge. Gets a couple big leaguers out, not just big leaguers, superstars. Man, that little sinker right on right is a pretty good pitch for him. And that's what this tournament's all about in another kind of way. It's just giving people opportunity to pitch on a huge stage that wouldn't automatically be there. So that's pretty dang cool. All right. Also in this game, this was the big home run that Waka allowed that has kept Brazil kind of half in this game. 3-1, little challenge heater. Crawford boxes. And that made it 7-4. And this game's been quite close. Quite close. Yeah, Contreras, Vandy commit. That was only 97-1 at 29, that home run by Victor Mascai. So that's not typically a homer at all. But anyway, they're still in it. This game's not over yet. We'll see who the U.S. turns to. I'm curious to see who's warming up. Fun fact tonight, Brazil has 3 homers. USA has 1. Ramirez is the second or third youngest player to homer in the WBC after 2 dingers from Harry Ford. Contreras is draft eligible for this year. Ought to do some pretty good things for his stock. I just think he's just going to get, this is just, no matter what, this is a great experience for him. Move that fence back and left. We've been saying that for years, but, it's one of the cool things about baseball is all the unique configurations. So it's just part of it. It's just part of it. Terang just got a hit. What did I just do? I didn't want that. No. Let's see the Terang hit that just happened. Now that we're following this game live. Facing Kanabushi. Mitch is at the game also for work. And he's at the game right now. And he texted me, this fucking Brazil manager and middle inning pitching changes. He's done a doubleheader at the game today. So he wants this game to be over. I don't blame him. All right. Bednar, the Yankees closer, is the USA closer, isn't he? Is it a safe situation or could be? I'm not sure who the closer is. They have a couple of options. Mason Miller is the best reliever on the team. Bednar is a closer, so it could be him. I don't know how they're going to work that. I guess we'll just have to see. Did I ever hit? In high school, but no, that was it. I stopped then. Could have been a Shohei if they would have let me. Psych, but, never know. I love baseball because it's so different than any other sport. Field's not standardized. I agree. I like the quirkiness to it. I like the different ballparks. I think that's fun. Blaze is clearing double by Terang is looming large. And that ball should have been caught. Should we watch that clip real quick? I think we should. Bases clearing double by Terang. For my money, this ball had a chance to be caught. See what you guys think. It looks like it lands at the base of the wall. So therefore, you could have probably just caught there and catch it. Whitlock's my guy. So nasty, but I don't think he'll be getting too many saves here. I do think it's probably Bednar or Miller. It looks like people in the chat here. T-Rose said Miller was the closer. If he needs an off day, Bednar. Isn't Araldis a U.S. citizen after defecting from Cuba after getting denied Great Britain? D-Row could have recruited him. Yeah, he could have. There's so many people who could play for U.S. And I don't know all the rules for all the different federations. They seem to have, different rules at different times. So this ball was hit 94-4 at 31 degrees. Mescal needed to go 62 feet. He only went 50. I don't know much about whether how they measure that in terms of a grade, but I thought he should have caught it. Personally, I thought this was very catchable. But sometimes those big walls, they play tricks on you, whether it be here or Fenway. And he hesitated, and once you hesitate, you're cooked. You're right. This play looms large. Looms very, very, very large. So they make that play. It's only 1 run instead of 3. And maybe 1 run down right now. as Bobby is hitting with Terang on second and no outs in this inning right now. That's where we're at. All right, let me go to probable pitchers. And first we'll go over the stuff for tomorrow as we wait for this USA game to end, and then we'll put a bow on that depending on who comes in to close. But here are our probables tomorrow for spring games, just to see what we're missing. Paddock and Alexander, Marlins and Strohs, Hunter Barco, Casey Mize, Pirates, Tigers. There's Kodai Senga and Kyle Leahy of the Cardinals. Rays and Red Sox, Ty Johnson, Johan Oviedo. Twins and Orioles, Mick Abel, who looked great in his first spring game. Cade Povich. Blue Jays and Phillies, Scherzer and Painter. I mean, that's pretty entertaining right there. Hall of Famer and major prospect going head-to-head. De Leon and Holmes, Orioles and Braves. Nick Lodolo and Bubic. I don't think I've seen Lodolo yet this spring. Barnett and Imanaga. We'll continue to monitor that Imanaga velocity. Michael King and Ciccone. Kinger did not look great his first outing. We'll see how he looks tomorrow. Latz and Wisenhunt. Wisenhunt's an interesting prospect with the Giants. Curious to see how he's looking. Brubaker and Cole Drake. White Sox Mariners, Grant Taylor and Logan Gilbert. Brewers and Angels, Woodruff and Grayson Rodriguez. I didn't watch Grayson's first start. I know he threw pretty hard. But I'd be curious to see how he looks tomorrow. Ryan Johnson and Gage Jump, A's and Athletics. Will Warren, Josiah Gray, Yankees at Nats. Sean Sullivan, Landon Knack, which is a guy I haven't even thought about in a while for the Dodgers. So those are the spring probables. As for the games tomorrow on the international stage, there's a ton of them. Korea, Japan. Kikuchi versus Young Pyo Ko. That's the matchup in the Korea-Japan game. Both teams 1-0. These teams are rivals. Japan's kind of owned the rivalry recently, but this will be at 4 a.m. if anybody wants to be awake. Tomorrow we're going to do another night stream, likely 9 p.m. Eastern again would be my guess. But I'll just stay tuned for the update on that. All right, Colombia and Canada. Canada making their debut in the tournament. It's Julio Teheran for Colombia versus Mike Soroka for Canada. Pretty good pitching matchup there from San Juan. Colombia's 0-1, desperate for a win. Canada's getting their tournament started. They have a nice roster, so we'll see how they do. It will be Nicaragua and the Netherlands tomorrow. Erasmo Ramirez versus Jatwine Kelly. I know Erasmo was named captain of this team. So we'll see how he looks versus the Netherlands. Both teams need to get a win. Nicaragua obviously losing earlier tonight to DR. Doesn't have that listed, but that did happen. And then Brazil and Italy. This is the game I will be in. Sam Aldegheri, one of our native Italians who also pitches in the big leagues for the Angels, will be on the bump for us. Not sure about Brazil yet. We should have a very left-handed lineup, and maybe your host will pitch. We'll see. Ooh, Miller warming up. Mason Miller warming up in the pen. Panama and Puerto Rico tomorrow. Ariel Jurado for Panama and Eduardo Rivera for Puerto Rico is the matchup. 5 p.m. from, I guess this is all in Central Time. So 5 p.m. Central, Panama and Puerto Rico. Israel getting into the tournament, facing Venezuela tomorrow. Ben Simon gets the start versus Emmanuel De Jesus. Israel's got some players, but this is going to be a little bit of an uphill battle. I do think they'll have a lot of fans in Miami. Obviously, a lot of Jewish culture down there, so that'll be interesting to see. Ooh, Judge just almost got hit in the face. Didn't look very happy about that. All right, next game, Great Britain and USA. Tarek Skubal versus TBD. So Great Britain has gotten off to a slow start, losing today to Mexico, and now they get Tarek Skubal in this next game. That will be tough. Damn, Stock got hurt? I didn't know about that. Damn it. I didn't know Stalker got hurt. What happened? All right. And our last game to preview will be Taipei and Korea. It's funny because Korea, these are both two TBDs because Korea is playing technically 2 games on the same day. According to our time, like where I am. So not much to preview there. But of these games, I mean, that Japan-Korea game in the morning should be a very good one. No other really crazy tight matchups, but I'm definitely curious to watch Colombia-Canada. Obviously, I'll be involved in the Brazilian-Italian game, Panama, Puerto Rico, Israel, Venezuela. I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to have any of their best pitching available now, but you never know. Never say never. Shoulder discomfort. That's a bummer. It's a bummer. He looked really good in his warm-up game and in spring training early on, so that's disappointing for sure. If I were the Mets, what do you offer Peralta to sign? Oof, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Freddie P, one of the better pitchers in the league, been very durable. Oh, his age 29 season is this year, age 30 next year. If I were the Mets, I would want to keep it to 4 or 5 years. $30 million a year. He's probably worth more than that, but yeah, in a perfect world, 5 for 150. But honestly, he's probably worth more than that. If he stays healthy and puts up another great year, he's got a very good argument for 6-7 longer year deal with even higher than 30 AAV. I don't think he would be my cup of tea necessarily, but I want to watch it play out this year. I think he's a very good pitcher, but in terms of projecting forward, I'd like to watch him a little bit closer. 35 for 5. I mean, I do think if he keeps this up, he's like a $35 million a year pitcher. I do think that. Maybe not quite 40, but I don't know. I mean, he's going to be in a lot of demand if he does hit free agency, so the Mets are going to have to pony up if he looks good, and they want to bring him on board. Uncle Stevie going to offer him a boatload, then Scooble. All right, we'll see. Yeah, Stearns is not giving a pitcher a long time. I mean, it's always going to be tough with their pitcher negotiations. From what we've seen so far, it'll be interesting to see who they do eventually pull the plug on for a long-term contract. Ooh, Dolander. How can Dolander pitch better at altitude? Let's wrap up I'm waiting for the USA thing to end. Maybe we'll get a glimpse at Mason Miller here, or if the U.S. team does anything else. But yeah, Judge is telling see the ball down against this guy. But I do want to watch Dolander. Who did the Rockies play today? The A's. So let's watch. Well, first let me click on it to get the breakdown, and then we'll watch it. We've been following Chase for a little bit. Okay, 28% four-seam, 23% sinker. I've been saying I like his sinker shape a lot. 23% cutter, 13% changeup, 11% curveball, 2% sweeper. On the whiffs, he did get 4 out of 7 on cutter and 23% overall in the game. Four-seam shape remained the same. Sinker shape looked great today. 6 and 18. Cutter, 6 and -4, but he throws it really hard. Although today was only 89, so down a little bit. Still living at 98, basically. 97, 98 with the fastball. 67% first pitch strikes is good. Okay, so Rockies versus A's. Let's get a look at Chase. Hopefully we have video on this one. Rockies versus A's. All right, Mr. Chase Dolander. No video. You got to be crapping me. That's a bummer. But what can I say about it? What was his final line here? Only 2 strikeouts. Let's see. Ground out, double, fly out, single, walk, strikeout. Ground out, line out, single, walk, strikeout. Ground out, single, pick off. Well, I'll pick the guy off. I mean, we haven't seen any dominating stuff yet, but I do have to say I like his sinker shape a lot. I mean, 97.4 with 6 and 18 And on the average, on the season, it's 5-16. I think you can play with that. So more breadth of pitches. Those are kind of one of the things he needs to do. Mix it up a lot more and be more accurate and just be smarter with his pitch choices. Learn how to freeze guys. Don't be so reliant on outstuffing the hitter. Obviously, he has good stuff, but he needs to learn the other aspects of it as well. One thing with Dolander is I think there's a lack of deception there. That kind of hurts him because you need some of that element to add into the mix at Coors. Yeah, Mitch is going to fight someone. Another mid-inning pitching change. It's true. He's probably pissed. Can we see some Bubba too? Okay. Oh, Fairchild's Grand Slam. My bad. My bad. We can watch that real quick. That's going on right now, right? Taipei and Czech plays Stuart Fairchild Grand Salami. Here it is. Oof. Little 83-mile-an-hour ball left on right. Big crowd tonight. Big crowd for Chinese Taipei tonight at the Tokyo Dome. And Stewart going way back. Oh, man, this poor pitcher right now can't throw strikes. They should sit Mason Miller down now. They're up 10-5. Anyway, bomb there by Fairchild. That probably felt pretty good. Let's look at him from the side if we can. Oh, nice swing. Anyway, they're up. They're up early in this game. 6-0 on Czech. Czech looking to go 0-3 at this point. Taipei looking to get a win here and then hopefully try to break even and get back into it, but we'll see. All right, so we wanted to watch who was it? Was it Bubba? This pitcher's tough. They had to get him out of there. Enough is enough for sure. Oh yeah, so Bubba. So who did the Pirates play? I guess I'm still rolling right here. 2 hours and 20 minutes into the stream. Was this Bubba or no? Ashcraft, Kane, Matson, Mason Montgomery, Bo Burrows. Not Bubba, he was my best friend. Pirates Blue Jays game. So this must be from, oh shit, what did I just do? I didn't want to do that. This must be from like a day ago. No. Pirates have off this day? Now I'm just hunting around. Man, I'll just go ahead and look it up. I don't know what's going on. Pirates Blue Jays? Bubba pitch against the Jays? At some point? Oh, maybe they had a split squad today. That must be what happened here. Yeah, Bubba, 57 pitches, 5 strikeouts. Do we have the video? Yes, we do. Sorry about that. Split squad. Didn't get that right away. All right, 100-mile-an-hour strikeout here. 18, so much better shape. He had weird fastball shape that one day when we first watched him early on in spring, and I think it might have been the wind. So, anyway, that's a much better shape for him. All right. Ooh, 19.5 on this one at 99. He's showcasing a really good fastball here. Ooh, Connor. Dirty by Connor Griffin. How under control was this throw? And he knew exactly how much time he had and how much he could put on this throw. Show me that again. Show me this one again. Stud. Absolute stud. All right. Ball 4 here, so here's a walk. This fastball didn't have the same shape. I mean, there's no doubt Bubba is a max effort chucker guy, but he's got good pitches. I like his changeup a lot. Obviously, when the fastball metric is good, it's great. He throws hard. But it looks like to be a little inconsistent. 14 there. He's throwing up to 20s before. It's a little weird for sure. All right, here's an in-play outs. Almost 100 miles an hour to Eloy Jimenez. Ooh, he hit that ball good. 103.4 at 23, so the wind must be blowing in today for that not to go out. Here's the changeup. For ball 4, so 2 walks we've seen. Swing and strike on a slider. It's the first slider I've seen. What is a split squad? It means you play 2 games and you send half your team to one game and the other half to the other game. It's a way to get people playing time in spring training when there's too many players and not enough to go around. So that's what that is. There's a slider strikeout. The models are high on his slider. I haven't been high on it yet, but this was a nice little tight one here. Nice pitch. Yeah, this game's out of hand now. 16 walks. These guys can't throw strikes. It's just getting ugly. Now that is a screaming heater right there. Look at this cheese. This is absolute gas. Really nice. All right, another walk. So here's a third walk. Lucas. It's just a classic case of I'm nasty, but I strike guys out and I walk guys. There's a slider freeze. Ooh. Schneider tried to push back on that, but this is going to be in there. Oh wow, top shelf slider. Sit down. How would wind in the face of the pitcher affect shapes? Would it hurt that? Would the air hurt or help or hurt ride? I think it aids. If it's in your face, you'll get more ride. You'll get less velocity, but you'll get more ride. It'll help keep the ball up more. That wind resistance. Another hit. Now it's 12-5. This game is just still going. Ever played golf? Wind may be subtle, but it's big. No doubt. Ooh, 100-mile-an-hour fastball here. To Barger. And there's Connor Griffin making the play. He's just a unit for his size, for his age, too. There's a slider to Varsho. Ooh, great swing. Base hit. Great swing. How do you hit that? This pitch is below the zone. Way below the zone. Yeah, wind makes a huge deal in Citi Field particularly. I've talked about this on the stream in the past. The boosted metrics with the wind in your face. As a pitcher, it's funny. Like when you're younger, you're taught you don't want the wind blowing in your face because that means it's blowing out. You're worried about home runs, but it makes your pitches nastier. So, in a way, it's pretty good. He's Dalton Varsho. That's true. I mean, this pitcher's about to walk another guy. At a certain point, there's no point in even watching this USA game anymore. It's kind of a wrap. Let me see if I can just click on them real quick so we can go look at the plays. So this is what's happened in this inning. Single, pitching change, strikeout, single, walk, 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 and then Roman just got a single. This was Roman's single that just happened. We hit that ball hard. And PCA just walked. So now it's 13-5. And they've walked like almost 20 times. So sometimes it's just bad baseball breaks out. But USA is going to cruise to this game. We've already previewed all of tomorrow's games. And we've watched quite a bit of baseball today. I don't really have much to say about Bubba. We're still waiting to watch him over a larger sample. Obviously an explosive arm, and time will tell. I think that's kind of it for me tonight. I'm kind of cooked. 2.5 hours in. It's pretty late. I got a game tomorrow. So let's call it for now. We'll do another stream tomorrow night, more than likely. Check the upcoming I'll put it in the Discord. I'll make a post if I need to. But I'm playing in the afternoon, and then I mean there might be a dinner situation tomorrow, so I might have to play it, figure it out exactly what I want to do with the stream. But tomorrow will be fun. Go Italy, Forza Italia, and let's see how this goes. USA is going to cruise to this victory. Hopefully they don't use Mason Miller here. But this game's like watching paint dry right now. So we're just going to wrap it up. Big shout out to MLB for getting us all the clips. So we should have a great time watching these games from here on out on the stream. And thanks to everybody who hung out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Join the Discord. Buy the merch. Do all the fun stuff. Help support the show. I appreciate you guys every single day that you're with me. It's the best. And we'll continue to watch baseball. So that's it for day 2 of the WBC. Tomorrow we'll have day 3. So stay tuned right here, and thanks so much for sticking with me on Baseball and Coffee and Baseball After Dark. You guys are the best. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.